Today, we become legends.
Today's Titan Talk was the patch OB9 showcase, and a ton of stuff was revealed that's coming to Smite 2 in the next update. Guan is the new god for this patch, and he is coming with an aspect and a bunch of changes, but I have a dedicated showcase video for him already out on the channel if you want to check him out, so I won't be covering him again in this video. The link for that one will be down below if you want to watch it afterwards, but without further ado, let's jump in with today's Titan Talk recap for OB9. First up, Kali is getting a new aspect in this update, which is easily the most crazy aspect we've ever seen in how much it changes her. The most critical thing about this aspect is that it literally makes Kali a ranged god more akin to a hunter than an assassin, which is massive in itself. Ever since we saw the Cernanos aspect, I just knew at some point they were going to do the reverse and make a melee god into a ranged one, and I definitely think Kali fits quite well with it. It's not just ranged basics though. Rupture stacks will now also consume on hit at 5 stacks to deal bonus damage and heal Kali. Incense now knocks enemies away and applies rupture stacks rather than stunning and consuming them. Her ultimate no longer deals any damage or provides any immunities, including the death resistance. That's gone completely. In exchange though, it gives her a massive stat boost on use and has a much lower cooldown that also resets when Kali gets a marked kill, as well as making her basic attacks apply 2 stacks of rupture instead of 1 and pass through enemies for the duration. Another notable thing is that Kali will keep her 1, 0.5, 0.5 attack chain with the aspect, so she'll be especially good at applying on hit effects compared to other ranged ADCs. So stuff like Executioner, Braggy's Harp, Tearfing, and Kin Size will be amazing for her in the aspect. Next up though, the Wandering Market is getting an updated OB9. It's not a new collection, those are still going to be every 4 patches, so every 8 weeks as normal, but the Wandering Market will now also have a traveling section that is limited time and will be a much smaller offering. The first one they showcased on the show was a bee-themed one with a new Yamoja skin, the Jingwei Bumblebee Classic skin with a prism unique to the Travelers Market, as well as a title, badge, and ward skin. The price for this was 2,400 diamonds, which is substantially more than a normal Wandering Market collection, but the same as the standard price for direct purchasing a new skin like the Yamoja one that you get. So if you're a direct purchasing player that will be happy just buying the skin itself, then this is just some extra value if you're already going to buy the skin. But it is significantly more expensive than a standard Wandering Market collection, and as far as I could tell, there's no free content in these Traveler Markets. I think it's all premium. They did say that the Jingwei Classic skin will be available as normal for Legacy Gems only once the Traveling Market leaves though. In terms of other cosmetics this update, Shadow Sentry Cerberus is coming this patch, which is cross-gen, so if you own it in Smite 1, you'll get it in Smite 2. If not, then try logging back into Smite 1 and coming back to Smite 2. Miss Senshi Bellona is also coming as a classic skin, so 100% Legacy Gems if you have them. It will also have prisms with a blue one, a gold and white one, and a red and white one. As always, the prisms are diamonds only, and they didn't mention what the pricing will be for these ones, but said they're still feeling out what prices should be for prisms. Next up though, announcer packs are coming back in OB9, and there's going to be 33 classic announcer packs coming back in this update. They will be sold in the same way as the music packs, as chest only and 100% legacy gems if you have them. They also said this is just wave 1 of the announcer packs, and they're probably going to have around 3 waves, so if your favorite pack isn't in here yet, it might come back in a future wave. They did say that some might not be able to be brought back because of licensing issues, but most should be there eventually. And Kepri and the Law Lady were 2 that were mentioned that are definitely coming back, but there'll be PTS for this on Tuesday, so we can check them out then. There will also be another round of quips in the supporter store this update, which are themed around the best esports calls and casting of the Smite Pro League of all time. There will be 8 in total, and here's a few examples of them.
Untouched, unscathed, bow down to your kings, and the crowd explode. I cannot believe what I've witnessed.
A small QOL change in this update is that middle mouse button will now just ping wherever you're looking to make it easier to ping on command for PC users, and this can be rebound if you want to. Next up, there's some overall Conquest pacing changes coming in this update, which aims to adjust gold and experience in the game and the balance of the two, with the intent of slowing down leveling slightly but speeding up gold gain slightly. This should make it so there's less time where you're at max level but nowhere near full build, and this emphasizes scaling more than base damage a little bit more. They also mentioned there will be a round of item and god balance in OB9 as well, but they didn't show it today. It will probably be on Wednesday or Friday's show, so be sure to subscribe to the channel to catch my recaps and see that stuff when it comes out. Next up though, there will be the ranked soft reset happening in OB9. Players Platinum and Under will see no change, with the SR reduction scaling up the higher rank you are. Season 0's Spring Split will then begin on this reset, and the ranked frames will be given out in OB10, which will showcase your highest rank achieved in Season 0, which will automatically update if you achieve a higher rank at any point. There'll be a flash test for all this stuff tomorrow on Tuesday for those who want to check this out. I think it said around 2 p.m. p.m. EST for when that's going to go live. The item notifications for chat will also be in this update that posts to chat whenever a teammate buys a team-related item like a ward, an executioner, a talisman of purification, etc. This will also send a message whenever an ally picks up a drop like the Eyes of the Jungle, the Runic Bomb, or the Obsidian Dagger. There's also a small change to win sprites this patch that makes it so you can't use them if you're hard CC, which is a really good change, I think. They also made some significant changes to Aladdin's Leap this patch that they called out, you know, rather than just being like a regular bug fix. These are apparently more significant. It will now take your last valid landing location instead of dropping you straight down off of the wall, which sounds amazing for him, among some other improvements. There was a small change on the God screen that now has a progress bar so you can see how close you are to your next mastery level, and this will be the case in the match lobby as well, but they couldn't show that without spoiling in-progress gods on the dev client. There's also some god builder improvements coming in this update. You can now search for builds or players as well as filter builds, so if you want an aspect build specifically for a god, you can find that, for example. When you pick an item for a build, it will now also stay on the scrolling where it was instead of scrolling back to the top of the item list, which was really annoying. The stats list on the right will now also default to level 20 instead of defaulting to level 1, among a few other QOL changes. And the biggest thing for God Builder is that your pinned build will now appear as an auto build option with auto skill and auto build if you pick it. There wasn't much time for Q&A in today's show due to all the stuff being showcased, but there were a few questions at the tail end of the show. First up, someone asked if every god will have a skin, at least one at some point, and Kilgun said hopefully soon-ish. They have a list of all the gods without a skin, and a lot of them were released during the push to 50 gods right before beta launch when they weren't really doing skins. They are aware of these gods and we'll get to it, but it might take a while. Someone asked if Guan Unicorn could be the first classic skin for him, and Kilgun said he thinks it is, but he's not 100% sure. And finally, someone asked about Guan Yu's bongo sounds, and they said they initially planned to use them in the aspect, but then went with a different idea for the aspect, so they didn't get used, but they do have the sound file and they could implement it somewhere if they wanted to. But that's everything besides Guan Yu, of course, that was showcased on today's Titan Talk for patch OB9. What do you think of the changes? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you guys for another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.